Have you ever been wounded not by a brutal attack, but by a caress that felt like a betrayal? We are taught to trust the gentle touch, the soft voice. But what if those are masks, disguises for intentions far more insidious? The deepest wounds often come from those who seem harmless, who expertly wield the language of love and kindness to manipulate and control. This journey delves into the deceptive power of appearances, exposing the insidious nature of those who prey on our inherent desire for connection. We'll explore the subtle tactics used to disarm us, the danger of predictability, and the liberating power of emotional sovereignty. Like Machiavelli's cunning prince, we'll learn to recognize the true face of power, not in outward aggression, but in the strategic deployment of silence and ambiguity. Unlock the hidden truths and reclaim your agency. The path to liberation begins with recognizing the wolves in sheep's clothing. Like this video if you feel like it, subscribe to the channel if you want, and let's get started. Have you ever felt a twinge of betrayal, not from a harsh blow, but from a touch meant to soothe? Perhaps a word whispered with honeyed affection, yet leaving a bitter taste in your mouth. We're taught to trust the gentle touch, the soft voice. We crave connection, yearn for safety and the warmth of another's embrace. But what happens when those very things become instruments of manipulation? We build walls, trust erodes, and the world feels suddenly less safe. We question our own perceptions, wondering if we've misjudged someone, if we're overly sensitive. But what if the truth is more unsettling? What if the wounds we carry aren't from the obvious blows, but from the insidious whispers, the veiled intentions, the seemingly harmless actions that chip away at our core? This isn't about paranoia, about seeing monsters under every bed. It's about recognizing a pattern, a subtle dance of power that often hides behind a mask of kindness. It's about understanding how the language of love can be twisted, how vulnerability can be exploited, and how the desire for connection can become a weapon against us. We'll explore the ways these wolves in sheep's clothing operate, the tactics they employ to disarm us, to lull us into a false sense of security. We'll delve into the psychology of manipulation, the subtle signs that betray hidden agendas, and the danger of trusting too readily. This journey isn't about cynicism or fear. It's about reclaiming your power, your agency, your emotional sovereignty. It's about learning to see through the illusions, to recognize the true face of power, and to navigate the complexities of human connection with wisdom and discernment. These wolves rarely operate through overt aggression. Their strength lies in subtlety, in weaving a web of dependence and obligation. They understand the power of reciprocity, of making you feel indebted to them. A seemingly thoughtful gesture, a whispered compliment, a helping hand offered at a moment of weakness. These become threads in their tapestry, binding you closer, making you believe you owe them something in return. Now, consider how this applies when you face a persistent request, a seemingly harmless plea for favor. It might be a friend asking for a loan, a colleague needing help with a project, or a family member needing emotional support. While these situations often arise from genuine need, the wolves in sheep's clothing excel at exploiting our inherent desire to be helpful, to be seen as caring and compassionate. They learn your vulnerabilities, your strengths, the things that make you feel needed and valued. They then tailor their requests to those specific points, knowing that refusing would be seen as uncaring, unsupportive, even hostile. But here's the insidious part. These requests often come with subtle strings attached, unspoken expectations that you'll reciprocate in ways that benefit them, not you. It might be a favor down the line, a silent expectation of loyalty, or an unspoken pressure to conform to their worldview. This isn't about avoiding kindness or helping those in need. It's about recognizing the patterns, the subtle shifts in power, dynamics, the ways in which our desire to be seen as good can be manipulated. It's about learning to set healthy boundaries, to say no without guilt or shame, and to prioritize your own well-being over the perceived needs of others. Understanding the wolves in sheep's clothing starts with recognizing their language. They are masters of emotional manipulation, experts at weaving narratives that tug at your heartstrings and exploit your sense of empathy. Notice how they often present themselves as victims, subtly painting a picture of themselves as deserving of your help, your support, your unwavering loyalty. They may speak of past hurts, of injustices they've suffered, of the coldness of the world. They might even paint you as their savior, the only one who truly understands them, the only one who can offer genuine solace. This creates a powerful bond, a sense of shared experience that makes it harder to see through their disguise. But remember, empathy isn't weakness. It's a beautiful, essential human trait. The challenge lies in cultivating a discerning empathy, one that allows us to connect with others' pain without losing sight of our own boundaries. This means learning to differentiate between genuine need and calculated manipulation, between heartfelt vulnerability and orchestrated drama. Now consider how this applies when someone shares their struggles. Do they eagerly seek solutions, or do they seem to relish in the weight of their problems? Do they express gratitude for your support, or do they subtly imply that you're obligated to fix their issues? Being mindful of these subtle cues can help you navigate these situations with greater clarity and self-awareness. It's not about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about protecting your own emotional well-being while still offering genuine compassion. These wolves operate with calculated precision, exploiting our natural inclinations towards connection and reciprocity. They understand that humans crave belonging, seek validation through relationships. This yearning becomes their doorway, a vulnerability they exploit to weave their web of influence. Now consider how this plays out in your social circles. Do you find yourself constantly drawn into dramas, mediating conflicts, shouldering the emotional burdens of others? Are you frequently the one offering advice, support, a listening ear? While these are noble qualities, be mindful of situations where your generosity seems one-sided. Wolves in sheep's clothing thrive on creating a sense of dependency. They might present themselves as perpetually struggling, always in need of rescuing. They might subtly downplay their own agency, positioning themselves as victims of circumstance, incapable of solving their own problems. This fosters a sense of obligation in you, a belief that you are the only one who can truly help them. But remember, true connection involves reciprocity. It's a dance of shared experiences, mutual support, and equal footing. If you find yourself constantly giving, always the one offering solutions, always the rock for others, while your own needs are neglected, it might be time to reevaluate those relationships. Are they truly enriching, or are they draining you of your energy and leaving you feeling depleted? Reflecting on this journey so far, we've peeled back layers of deception, revealing the subtle dance of power that can masquerade as tenderness. We've glimpsed the calculated strategies employed by those who wield emotional manipulation as their weapon, expertly crafting narratives that bind us in webs of obligation and dependence. Like moths drawn to a flickering flame, we are often lured by the warmth of perceived kindness, the allure of connection. But just as a spider patiently weaves its intricate trap, these wolves in sheep's clothing patiently craft their webs, waiting for the moment to ensnare their prey. The intricate patterns they create, the carefully crafted stories, the seemingly effortless charm, all designed to disarm our defenses, to make us vulnerable to their subtle manipulations. This isn't about distrusting every gesture of kindness, every offer of support. It's about recognizing the difference between genuine connection and calculated control. It's about developing a discerning heart, one that can appreciate the beauty of human compassion while remaining vigilant against the wolves who prey on our vulnerabilities. So we stand at a crossroads, armed with newfound awareness. The world may still seem filled with wolves in sheep's clothing, but our eyes have been opened. We see the subtle gestures, the carefully crafted narratives, the insidious tactics employed to manipulate and control. We understand the power of their charm, the allure of their seemingly innocent affection, but we also recognize the danger, the potential for harm that lurks beneath the surface. And here's the liberating truth. Knowing this, understanding these patterns, is the first step towards true liberation. It's not about living in a perpetual state of suspicion, but about cultivating a discerning heart, a mind that can see through the illusions, a spirit that remains anchored in its own strength. It's about reclaiming your agency, your emotional sovereignty, your right to choose who you allow into your inner circle, what stories you let shape your reality. The path forward isn't about avoiding connection, but about choosing connection wisely. It's about building relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and authenticity. It's about surrounding yourself with those who uplift you, who inspire you, who celebrate your strengths and support your growth. The true practice begins now. Every interaction, every conversation, every encounter becomes an opportunity to apply. The lessons learned. Notice the subtle cues, the unspoken expectations, the ways in which others attempt to manipulate your emotions. And remember, you have the power to choose. You have the right to set boundaries, to protect your energy, to walk away from situations that no longer serve you. The world may be filled with wolves, but you are not their prey. You are a sovereign being, capable of navigating the complexities of human connection with wisdom, discernment, and an unwavering commitment to your own well-being. Summary of the 5 Machiavellian rules for total dominance. Not every smile is innocent. True manipulators don't shout, they whisper. They present kindness but hide strategy. Don't trust the tone, trust the patterns. Be unpredictable. The predictable are the easiest to control. Wolves study your reactions. Change the game. Don't react. Surprise. Power lies in silence. Absence weighs more than constant presence. Learn to disappear so they can recognize your value. Emotions are maps. Hide yours. Never give away your vulnerability carelessly. The world reads your emotions to bend you. Stay unreadable. Loyalty without limits is servitude. You owe no loyalty to those who drain your energy and give nothing in return. Make them earn access to you.